Evening, everyone. Welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Valia Bhatnagar, and I am with you with the area of accounting and financial management for bankers. I hope I'm audible as well as clearly visible. Accounting and financial management for bankers. Okay, everyone, let's continue further. This is our crash course AFM Macmillan questions going on. I hope I'm clearly audible as well as visible. Chali, let's move on. Acha everyone, if you find these kind of this classes beneficial for you, then don't forget to like the particular session. Along with this, if this is beneficial, then subscribe to our channel right away. Acha everyone, one more point. I'm coming tomorrow. Sorry, day after tomorrow at 3 p.m. I'll be coming up for the particular area of our I'll be coming for the specific area of our mini marathon, one shot mini marathon for module C. Along with this, I'm also coming up with the readiness test. I think you must have seen the readiness test has started. Our mock test is out, everyone. We call it the readiness test. AFM readiness test is here. It has already started probably right now, and all you need to do is register yourself right away, enroll, and you can attempt, right? So attempt now would be available by the end of the session. I'll show you the registration part of the same as well. If you haven't considered of going for the mock test yet, then you should, because it is very very important that you are considering yourself in terms of working over the period of time. You need to know the examination is approaching. What is your approach towards your studies? That has to be very clear, isn't it? So based upon this, here comes the first question. What do sources of funds represent in fund flow statement? This is all fund flow area that we are talking about. In the last session, I had finished the area of cash flow, and currently I'm dealing with fund flow. Okay. Is this important? Yeah, I believe so, because cash flow and fund flow are basically the financial statement analysis. How does the organizations work in the area of cash flow and fund flow is to be considered in this specific area altogether. What's the answer, everyone? Decrease in assets, increase in liabilities, increase in equity and reserves, decrease in non-current assets. What's going to be the answer? Cash flow and fund flow. The difference between the two is cash flow is related to the area of uh, getting money and losing money. It is all about money. When we talk about fund flow is basically the movement of funds altogether. Funds are different, है ना? Funds refers to the money that we are receiving or losing, है ना? Now, what's going to be the answer according to this? Funds is moving on towards a bigger area. Sources of funds. Sources of funds matlab I'm getting money. ठीक है ना? The funds can be taken from anywhere. It doesn't matter if it is my money or anybody else's money. There is increase in the equity and reserves. Sources of funds means the funds that we are developing for our business, which can be internal and it can be external as well. There is no point of us just saying that it is only internal. No, it can be external as well. ठीक है ना? Done. Everyone, how are the applications? How are the application of funds typically associated in the fund flow? Application of funds matlab we are putting our funds into something. Na? When we are putting our funds into something, what will we call it? Increase in assets or decrease in liabilities? Decrease in assets or increase in liabilities? Increase in assets and increase in liabilities, as well as decrease in assets and decrease in liabilities. Acha, application of funds means what? In fund flow, there are 2 points. Under fund flow, we have 2 points, two important points are there. One is how we get the funds, that is called sources. And where we apply the funds, that is called application. One part is sources, one part is application. Now in this case, what is it that we are actually doing? Nothing much. We are actually just looking at the entire question from the point of view of we are getting the sources and we are applying it as well. So in this case, can we say that this is basically increase in assets and decrease in liabilities? Application means you are putting the money. You are putting the money to use. Or you can say here it is funds. The broader term is funds, na? Funds to use. That's the answer. Next question. Just a moment. When we talk about fund flow, now fund flow is having a bigger point of view from that of cash flow. Cash flow is totally limited to increase or decrease of cash or movement of the cash altogether. But this guy, when we talk about fund flow, no doubt fund flow is not actually practically used that much because of the fact that people are obsessed about cash. How's the cash going on? What is the position of the cash? Do we have enough liquidity to pay off? All those questions comes up. That's why now, even if we want to, the cash flow has more importance than fund flow because of the limited use of fund flow. But this also plays a very important role in the analysis area. So when we talk about the fund flow statement, what is the purpose of classifying sources and uses of funds? Again, I'm sorry, to confuse the readers, to provide a clearer understanding of fund utilization, to complicate the statement or hide the financial information. Easier question. I would say the answer is to provide clearer understanding. Where are we getting the money from? Where are we putting the money to? All those things are required to be known to us. Na? Ki where is the money coming from? What are we doing with the money? That part has to be known. Otherwise, we will face a lot of problems. Where is the money? How do we use it? What is the particular area in which we are working upon? You know, that particular thing has to be known to us, isn't it? Next question. What would be the considered a long-term use of funds in fund flow statement? Increase in current assets, decrease in equity, increase in short-term borrowings, or decrease in long-term borrowings? What's going to be the answer, everyone? What would be considered as long-term use of funds in a fund flow statement? Long-term use of funds, but that we talk about the money which is used for not short-term but a longer term or a longer period. So this is basically when you are considered long-term use of funds. Use of funds matlab you are buying some assets, right? So when you're getting some assets, this can be called the area of decrease in equity. We had given the money back to the people who invested in the organization are to be considered in this area. Okay? Either we'll be buying an asset or something, or we will be just reducing this amount. Done? Okay. Here comes the next question. What is the primary purpose of preparing fund flow? To determine the profitability, to analyze the liquidity, to assess the changes in the financial position, or to calculate the tax liability. Everyone, the primary purpose of preparing the fund flow. Primary purpose is to assess the changes in the financial position. Where got where from, that part is also called this only. Then the other part of the sources and application of funds is also part of it. Then the next point that can be here is how do we apply these funds into the organization is also to be considered, right? When preparing the funds flow statement, what aspect related to the fixed assets should be taken into account, everyone? Original cost, or accumulated depreciation, or market value of the fixed assets, or the last one, purchase date of the fixed assets. What's going to be the answer? When we talk about the amount, what aspect of fixed assets should be taken? When we talk about the fixed assets, na, that is to be taken is accumulated depreciation. This has to be adjusted in the area of reserves because this is a non-cash area. You're not losing funds at all for this. Non-cash and not, even not moving of funds at all. If I'm having a depreciation, this is not going to affect my business at all. Does it? No, it doesn't. है ना? Done ना? चलिए, next question. Because see, if I'm using my calculator, for example, in our case, calculator is a very small thing, so I think let's take a phone. If I'm using my phone every single day, the value of my phone is declining, or the value of it I'm not giving to anybody. I'm not telling anybody that pata hai, the value of my phone is declining. No, I'm not giving that phone to anyone, so that is to be considered in this area. Then comes the next point. How should the depreciation charge on the fixed assets be treated in the fund flow statement? When we talk about the fixed assets, how do we look at depreciation, everyone? Long-term sources of funds, the short-term, or ignored or treated as short-term? Everyone, depreciation. Depreciation, I told you it is in the area of adjustments. In this area, treated as a long-term use of funds. When we are using the area of fund flow na, and talking about depreciation, it is for long period because the goods are used for a longer period. That is why we have depreciation. If the company sells fixed assets during the year, how should it be reflected? Everyone, you are selling fixed assets. What's happening in this case? Are you getting cash or losing cash? If I am selling an asset, I'm getting cash and I'm losing a fixed asset, isn't it? That's the case now. If I'm losing an asset, then what will happen? By losing the asset, I am gaining cash, which is short term, and I'm losing something which is long term. So what's going to be the answer according to this? Everyone? When we talk about this area, shown as a long-term source, shown as a long-term use of funds, short-term source, or short-term use of funds. What's going to be the answer? When we talk about the specific area of selling the fixed assets, now fixed assets means you are giving away your fixed asset. We are getting cash and you are losing a machine. This is a fund flow. When we have inflow of cash and losing of machine, it will be treated as a long-term source of funds because I gave away a long-term source. I gave away my machinery, na? Done? Okay. When comparing two successive balance sheet, two successive balance sheet can be this year and the previous year, what change in the net worth or should be considered? Change in total assets, total liabilities, dividend payments or capital withdrawals, or change in current assets. What's going to be the answer? When comparing the figures of two successive balance sheets, back to back, if two are considered, then we're looking at dividend payments or dividend withdrawals. Okay? Because or capital withdrawals. Dividend payment is basically a part of the profit which is paid to them. है ना? 47. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar and I am with you with the area of accounting and financial management for bankers. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so this is the beginning of another financial year. I hope this financial year brings prosperity, happiness, and lots of, I would say, health and wealth both in this year. So let's begin with the session today, everyone. I hope you have already given the readiness test, but if you haven't, we'll be meeting for the analysis of the same tomorrow at 8 p.m. So be with me and let's discuss the specific questions in detail. Chali everyone, what am I going to talk about? Today I'm going to talk about the theoretical portion of the banking company. Banking company is a particular chapter which has a lot of theoretical area which has to be covered in detail, but somehow obviously we are looking at the financial statements in detail of a banking company. But what about those small little compliances that we are supposed to take care of? So we'll be talking about those little compliances as well. So let's talk about all those compliances today, everyone. Here comes the topic, banking companies. But before I proceed further, everyone, please share the session, like the session. Don't forget to share it among your peers because it is super important that maximum people join in and we all are able to study our topics properly. Done? Chaliye. Here comes the first question, everyone. Who is required to sign the financial statements of the banking companies incorporated in India? Manager or the principal officer, at least 3 directors, all directors if the number is less than 3, or all of the above. Everyone who's supposed to sign the statements. See, signing these statements is super important because you need to know what is exactly happening in the books of accounts, right? So what is the particular thing that we have is covered in this specific area. So what's going to be the answer, everyone? The MD has to sign, manager has to sign, 3 directors are basically taken that if the number is less than 3, then whosoever is the director, they have to be there. Because actually now one MD is compulsory and along with him, the other people should also agree. So it is based upon the MD and a few more people. That is the other directors who are not MD. So it is all of the above. Before appointing, reappointing, or removing any auditor, what approval is required for the banking company? Government approval, Reserve Bank of India approval, auditor approval, or shareholders approval? Everyone, before appointing and reappointing anyone as an auditor. Auditor is who? Auditor is the person who would check the books of accounts and he's not supposed to improve it. He's just supposed to report it. The actual truth of auditor is called the watchdog, not the bloodhound. That means he's supposed to tell whatever is happening to the CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. But he is not here to correct anything. है ना? That means auditor are those people who are determined in terms of their appointment by ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. But if you want to appoint someone, if you want to reappoint someone, then you need the permission of RBI. है ना? How if the RBI isn't allowing, how can we do that? Chali, let's look at the next question. Within what time frame must the balance sheet, profit and loss account and auditor's report must be submitted to RBI? That's an important area question. Everyone, what's the answer to this question? One month, 2 month, 3 month, or 6 months? It is what exactly, everyone? 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, or 6 months? It is normally 3 months, everyone. ठीक है? The answer is 3 months. चलिए, now let's look at the next question now. The next question is this. How long can the RBI extend the submission period for the balance sheet and the profit and loss? Normally it is you have to submit within 3 months, huh? But is there any extension allowed? And if allowed, up to what extent it is allowed, everyone? What's going to be the answer, everyone? If you're looking at this part, then the correct answer to this question is up to 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months. It can be extended up to C part. That is, it can be extended maximum up to 3 months. So you're given 3 months. After that, you're given further 3 months as well. Done? Chaliye. Then let's look at the next question as well. Everybody, oh, I forgot. Everyone, please share the session, like the session, as well as subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet. Done, everyone? Isn't it super important to keep that particular part going on? है ना? चलिए. Let's look at the next question, everyone. As per 2 subsection 3, when we're looking at subsection 2 subsection 3 of the Bankers Books Evidence Act, what is included in the definition of bankers books? Important area: ledger and the cash book, ledger, day book, cash book and account books only, day book, all other books used in the ordinary business of a bank. Everyone? The ones which are considered as the definition of bankers books. The bankers books includes the ledger, it includes the day book as well as the cash book. ठीक है? This is the answer. चलिए. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following books are used in slip system of posting the bank? General ledger, cash book, day book, or clearing register? Everyone, when we talk about the slip system, na, slip system is when we are talking about movement of something. What is it? When we talk about the general ledger here, na, since we're talking about movement, na, posting in a bank, slip system is used for cash book. Whenever they receive money, they pay money, the money has no specific proof, na, other than the payments there, that is to be considered in this specific area altogether. Done? चलिए then, let's move on to the next question. What is the purpose of maintaining a general ledger in the bank? To record all cash transactions, to record total accounts of each ledger, to record day-to-day transactions, or to record all the drafts and bills. We're trying to look at what is the purpose of maintaining a general ledger. The purpose of maintaining a general ledger is basically to record each total accounts of each ledger. Whatever is happening in each ledger, we have to note it down. Done? Chaliye then. Let's look at the next question. Apart from the ledgers and cash books, which other types of books are generally maintained by the bank? Customer complaint register, stationery register, security register, or employee attendance register? We're talking about the cash book, everyone. If we are maintaining cash book, then what else are we maintaining? That means all these things are related to the area of monetary terms, not admin area. है ना? Then what's going to be the answer? That is securities register. Whatever securities anybody would have given, it has to be stated. It has to be saved. It has to be checked. It has to be noted. Because if there's any problem in this area, then it can cause a major issue for the organization. Isn't it? Chaliye. Done, everyone? Now let's look at the next question. What is the main purpose of maintaining a draft register in the bank, everyone? Where is it that particular point where draft register plays a very, very important role? To record the safe deposit of all transactions, to record dishonored checks, to record the drafts issued. Hanji, done. To record the drafts and received area. Then last is to record the customer complaints related to the drafts. Draft is basically we are keeping a record of the drafts issued and drafts given. It is important to note down what are the drafts which are issued or whatever drafts which we are receiving. All these things, see, the draft is basically again a documentation which you should maintain. Every single security or every single document when maintained properly, it is helpful for the organization. Done? Chaliye. Next question. Acha everyone, if you haven't subscribed to our channel now, then hurry up and subscribe it right away, because every day we are coming up with such a good content. I think if you look at the entire area, readiness test is here, our regular classes are going on, mini marathons are going on. This is not only for AFM but also for other subjects. The entire faculty is dedicated towards helping you out. Around 2 months before the examination, we are all pumped up and everybody is working hell hard. So please go ahead and recognize us and share the particular sessions with your peer. Along with this, go ahead and like it and subscribe to our channel right away and click on the notification button so that you know when we are coming up with new videos. Acha, here comes the next point, everyone. This is called, what does general ledger in the bank contain? But basically ना, there are two kinds of ledgers. So it is again of many types, but general ledger and personal ledger. When a particular person's information is being noted there, it is called individual ledger. है ना? There is personal ledger, and the second one is your general ledger, in which we are recording everything, whatever is happening throughout the day is noticed and considered in this specific area. Okay? So in this case, the question is asking control accounts of all the personal ledgers, profit and loss account and assets. Control the accounts of all the personal assets, profit and liabilities. Control account of all personal ledgers, profit and loss and different assets. See, every single point is confusing. All personal account ledgers, profit and loss account and revenue accounts. In this case, we are just noting down the area of assets and liabilities with the all personal ledgers as well as profit and loss account. General controls everything, everyone. That means asset, liabilities, expenses and income. That is the specialization of general ledgers. That includes everything. Done? What are the contra accounts in the general ledger used for? Tracking assets and liabilities, handling agency business transactions, recording revenue and expense transactions, and maintaining customer deposit accounts. What are contra entries accounts in general ledger used for? The contra accounts in general ledger. Why is it used for, everyone? The contra accounts are basically used to handle the agency business transactions. There are certain agency business transactions now which are being done. So we have to keep on noting down, maintaining the books of accounts in order to find out what exactly is happening and what is not. Okay? Then comes what supports each control account in the general ledger. Voucher summary sheets, subsidiary ledgers, cash books, or even the profit or loss account. See, all the questions today are from the banking company theoretical portion. Before I start with the financial statements, I've talked about all those basic things which are confusing. They are indeed very confusing in the examination even. So just go through this particular portion very carefully and note down in one pointer so that you can remember it once we're done with the syllabus there. What supports each control account, everyone? That is subsidy. Subsidiary books, subsidiary ledgers actually gives individual one particular topic into their specific areas. Done? Who prepares the voucher summary sheet in the bank? Those who write the ledgers, department managers, customers, or person other than those who write the ledgers. Voucher summary sheet is maintained by persons other than those who write the ledgers. Vouchers are maintained by someone else. The ledgers are prepared by someone else. These things are reconciled and checked there so that there is no hampering of these particular transactions at all. That makes sense even, है ना? चलिए, then hello everyone, welcome to Afzara 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar and I am with you with the area of AFM. Okay everyone, what are we going to deal with today? We were doing the banking companies, so I'm continuing with the topic of banking companies further. Okay, so please share the session, like the session, as well as subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet. Okay, here comes the first question, everyone. As I told you, this particular chapter is as such based upon the various schedules. There had been questions time and again from the book in the area of the schedules altogether. Even the IRBF book, they have given it. So let's continue further. What is the bill? What is done when a bill is realized or returned? Matlab, there's something which has happened with that bill. Normally it isn't due. And on due basis it is not done yet. At that point of time you are holding it. But once the decision is made, then what do the banks do? Its original entry is marked off the register. It is entered again in the register. Its details are transferred to the general ledger, or last, a new entry is made in the cash book. What's the answer? The answer to this question is its original entry is the register is marked off. What you'll do is whatever is written in the books, you will basically mark it off. You will remove it. Okay? Next point. What mechanism is used for settling frequent transactions among the branches of the bank? General ledger, then is cash transfers, inter-office accounts, or the profit and loss ledger entries. What's gonna be the answer? Okay. When we talk about the mechanism for frequent transaction settling, is it done on general ledger, cash transfers, inter-office accounts, or profit and loss account? We're talking about frequent settling between two branches, na? So it is between inter-office accounts. Because we're gonna note it down in our books of accounts, na? So when we are looking forward to this area, then we'll have to stop and find it out. Done? Chaliye. Now comes the next question. Balance with banks and money at call and short notice is known under which schedule of the balance sheet? Schedule 13, 7, 6 or 10? Everyone? Balance with the bank and money at call is under which schedule? Balance with the banks, achha, we are talking about the money that we have given to other banks, है ना? And at the same time money at call and short notice, we have given the money to them. So in this case, is this an asset or a liability? You must have to decide. You have to decide that part first. Is this a liability or an asset? If it's an asset, then under what schedule? The schedule number is 7. Okay. Under this, they give the entire details. If we have given any money to any other bank, so we'll specify it. If there's any money at call means the money that we are asking the people to pay within a time tenure of maybe 2 days, 3 days, and overnight money is actually that. Then short notice is maximum for 14 days. So that means all these things are given na. Okay, whenever you want to give money to someone, how are we dealing with that? So in this case, the answer was schedule 7. Fixed assets is shown under which schedule of the balance sheet, everyone? Fixed assets are basically the assets which are used in the business for a long term, right? This is used in the business for a long term. So when you use something for a long term, how do you record it in the books of accounts? These fixed assets are basically the assets which helps us to earn more money. So it is schedule number 13, schedule number 7, 6 or 10. What's going to be the answer? 13, 7, 6 and 10. When we talk about the fixed assets, now fixed assets can also be defined as property, plant and equipment. The things which are required in the business on a long-term basis, not on short-term. So that means this is basically covered under the area of assets. And 10 and 13 after this now 13, 14 is basically the area of P&L. 1 to 10, 1 to 11 actually is in the balance sheet. 12th is footnote and 13 onwards is profit and loss account. So now you know what is the breakup between all these particular schedules, right? So answer accordingly. Fixed assets is shown under which schedule of the balance sheet? It is shown under schedule 10, everyone. What's going to be the answer? Chali, let's look at it. That is schedule number 10. Done now. Contingent liabilities is shown under which schedule? Contingent liabilities are basically those liabilities where we say कि we are supposed to pay to someone, है ना? So when we are supposed to pay to someone, but that is not certain yet. This happens. Sometimes we are supposed to pay, but it is not decided yet that we have to pay. That is covered under contingent liabilities. Okay, then contingent liabilities are actually those liabilities which we are certain to pay. We might have to pay in future, but we haven't paid it yet. है ना? That is why we'll be covering it up here. So what is the answer to it? Schedule 13 as a wrote as a under schedule 10, 6 or 12. We just studied 1 to 11 is in balance sheet. Contingent liabilities is actually uncertain in nature. We don't know whether we have to pay or not. That is why it is called under schedule 12. And that too as a footnote. It is not a part of a balance sheet, everyone. Not part of balance sheet total. It is not even a part of the balance sheet totaling. It is shown separately. Done? चलिए. Let's look at the next point. Which type of banking facility allows the customer to borrow money up to a certain amount limit against the security of commodities in terms of hypothecated or pledged with the bank commodities? The commodities are given to the banker, so that is what people can decide whether they want it or not. है ना? So what's going to be the answer? Overdrafts is you can basically take out more money, है ना? That's number one. Then the next one can be loans. Next one is cash credits. Last is demand loans. What's going to be the answer? The answer is cash credits. This is available against stock as well as debtors. Okay? So the more you have, the more will be noted. चलिए. Now let's look at the next question. In which facility does the borrower have the flexibility to draw the money and when required pay the interest only on the amount actually drawn? So this is what we have just talked about. If I have a loan, if I have an account with the bank and I have a business, then I can overdraw. Matlab, if I have 10,000 rupees in my bank, I can withdraw 12. Then I will have to pay money only on that 2,000 more. Yeah? That's the part that we'll be noting. Done? So in this case, the answer to this question would be overdraft. How should advances in India be classified further according to the provided information? Advances in India on sectoral basis based on the amount of interest accrued, then according to the borrower's credit rating or according to the duration of the loan. Advances in India can be based upon sectoral basis. Different sectors based is the one which they choose. Done. Now let's move on to the next question. Under which category would interest accrued but not due on investments and advances be classified in the financial statements of a bank? Interest accrued, tax paid in advance, stationery and stamps, or non-banking assets acquired in satisfaction of claims. Would interest accrued but not due. Basically, the interest is accrued, but this is not due yet. It is not to be paid yet. Where will you put it, everyone? Basic, easy question. This is going to be counted interest accrued. It is given there in the only. You know? Then what would be the answer, everyone? Everyone, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet. And if you're looking forward to more classes, and keep an eye, we are coming up with more and more sessions every single day, and all these sessions are created for you just for the examination purpose. That means everything is as per the exam. If you are planning to look forward to the classes now, then what you can do is check out our mock test. I'll be discussing the exam readiness test today at 8 p.m. So kindly be there. Okay. Next question, everyone. What would be the what would be included under the acceptances, endorsements, and other obligations in the schedule for contingent liabilities? Letter of credit and bills accepted, or claims or liability on account of forward exchange, or liabilities on part paid investments. Okay. What would be included under acceptances, endorsements, and other obligations? See, when we say under the area of obligations and in the schedule of contingent liabilities, contingent other things which we do not know about. There's no surety. Letter of credit and bill accepted by the bank on the behalf of customer. Claims against the bank not acknowledged as debt. Liability on account of outstanding forward exchange contracts, or liability on partly paid investments. Acceptances means when we are actually saying कि ठीक है ना, we'll be paying you in future. Endorsements means we have taken someone else's money and मतलब someone gave us or settled an account to us. Now we are going to suppose we are going to get the money from someone else. So bill receivable from someone else, given to someone else. Maybe if the person pays us, it's good, but if it doesn't, then it will come back to us. So letter of credit and bills are accepted by the bank on behalf of the customers is the one which is contingent in nature. You never know at what point of time you might have to pay for it. Done. Chali. So let's look at the next question as well. Which accounting entry is typically made by the bankers upon collecting a bills of exchange? That is cash account, debit to cash customer account to cash, commission to customer, or cash to commission to customer. When you collect the bills of exchange, but this is on behalf of the customer, this is not your thing na? This belongs to that customer only. That means you are not liable to pay for it. In this case, can I say that this is cash to customer to commission? We will receive our cash, we will receive, the customer account is now gone, and also we have received commission. This is our income na, and this is the account in which the amount is received, right? Chaliye. Now that's it for the day, everyone. Thank you so much for being there. From Top Flutter 24/7, my name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar, and I am with you with the area of accounting and financial management for bankers. I hope we are having a good day, everyone. So, what are we going to talk about today? Today, we are going to talk about some easy and good topics. The topic that we are talking about is called computerized accounting. In the area of banking, now, recently computers have entered. Yes, it's not, I said recent because not much time has passed. Because the system, software, and everything was introduced recently. A few, I would say 10 to 15 years ago, the things really started. Manual things were moved towards the digital area, and that is how the need for this came up. है ना? Done. Chale. Now, let's move on to the questions based upon this. So we have moved forward, then company accounts. Here comes the first question. Computerized accounting. So now the things have come to AI, but again, AI in terms of banking sector is a little less, as AI is in its primitive stages, and To put AI into the specific area is definitely a difficult task, right? Because ultimately the bankers are definitely required. Otherwise, what will happen? The AI will take over the things and you don't know who's the user of it and how these things can be used. So it is better that the business works in a specific manner only. Done? Chaliye. Now, when we talk about the computerized working, what do they say? It allows the handwritten reports for a personal touch. Nahin. The handwritten reports are not required anymore. Reports can be generated only for the basic accounting tasks. Nahin. Various informative reports can be generated out of it. Yes, that's one particular thing, that you can generate n number of reports out of it as and when it is required. Reports are limited to standard financial statements. The reports are actually of every types: long form audit report, TDS reports, TDS submissions, GST submissions, income tax submissions. Everything is required. This is very, very normal for any organization to do it. Okay? This is definitely not something which is abnormal. Done? Chaliye. Now let's look at the next question. What do you mean by the term data? But in the book they have written the term data, information, all these things. What's going to be the answer? Information about obtained from sources, source documents, fact, observations, assumptions, or occurrences. Then the next point is financial statements prepared for decision making, transactions recorded in ledgers. What's going to be the answer according to you? See, data is the raw form, है ना? And if I talk about information, information is the final form, है ना? One is data and one is information. So in this case, information obtained from the source documents, facts, observations, assumptions, or occurrences. Financial statements prepared for decision making or transactions recorded in ledgers. When we talk about data, data is basically the raw form. You cannot get anything out of it till the time you don't really put it into specific areas altogether. In terms of studying, understanding, all those things all together, everyone. Done? So what's going to be the answer? The answer is B. Now comes the next question. What does the data file consist of? Computerized accounting, everyone. A compilation of financial statements, a group of unrelated data items, related data records maintained in pre-arranged order, or a list of transactions recorded in journals. What's going to be the answer? See, when we talk about data file is something which is uh, Related data, unrelated data, what do we put in it? The data is related to the specific area of studies only. Na? The data that we are putting in is related to the area of the working of the organization. How do they exactly treat this particular details and all? Hai na? So in this case, these are basically data is basically when studied in terms of the studying area, it is related. For example, if you and I are studying specific part of the business, then we need to know how to relate the things. If I tell you that we are studying AFM and with AFM you cannot study any other subject, then probably I'll be wrong, because this particular area is covering at least a few related topics as well. For example, we have a few things which are there in the RBWM, a few things we can still relate in terms of PPP. So when we talk about the AFM altogether, na, it is not completely unrelated. So data in terms of working towards the information, it has to be related one. Then related data records maintained by the in a prearranged order. Done, everyone? So when we define this area of data, na, you need to understand how the data works. How it is actually working is something that will give you the information out of it. If I tell you I've got 100 marks in this, 10 marks in this, 20 marks in this, whatever marking scheme I'm telling you, this will not give you a conclusive proof of what exactly my performance is. Till the time you don't sit down and relate it to the previous years, or at least try to understand the current year trend. है ना? Done, everyone? So let's move on to the next point. Let's go on and talk about the next question, everyone. The next question relates to the area of what is the main difference between computerized and manual accounting systems? Computerized systems are more accurate than manual. Is that true? Manual systems are faster. No, it takes a lot of time to go for the manual systems. Data stored in computers are not visible in computerized systems. The data stored in computers is visible. That is why we can retrieve the data as well. Manual systems require less training than computerized system. वैसे manual require more training, because in terms of computerized it is better. One of the major differences is that the data stored in computers are not visible in computer systems. One of the main differences it is more accurate. It has to be A. The accuracy is more in A. The answer here is wrong. And yes, this is also true. The data stored in computers are not visible in computerized systems because it is related into servers. That's one of the differences. It is in the servers now. So partially, I think both are correct. So in this case, I cannot say only one of them is correct. Both are correct, because when you don't put the data in the computers anymore, in terms of data, it is through Finacle, banks, whatever computer software you're using, everything is going into that software. It is not kept anywhere else. So in this case, it is the data stored in computers are not visible in computerized systems. What is the benefit of feeding the data into the computerized accounting system? It increases the complexity of the system. It eliminates the need for specialized reports. It automatically completes all records with just one entry, or it decreases the accuracy of the financial statements. What is the benefit of feeding data? When you're trying to feed data into the computer systems, then there's one point, if there's a checkpoint in it. I hope the question is visible right now. In this case, we have checkpoints. When we have checkpoints, then we have better things to do. Na? That means the checkpoints are really helpful in terms of accuracy, in terms of putting the entire data into work. You know? So in this case, the correct answer would be what? It automatically completes all the records with just one entry. In this case, one of the benefits is you just have to put that one entry, and everywhere, all the books which are related, the data is automatically updated. Right? Chaliye. Now moving on to the next point, everyone. This is it automatically completes all the records of the feeding by feeding one entry into the computer. Which of the following is not a computerized accounting software available in the market? Tally ERP9, FlexCube, Excel, or QuickBook accounting software? Everyone, we are looking at among the following. This is all given in the book itself, everyone. So it's quite important. When we say which is not a computerized software, Tally ERP9 is, FlexCube is, and even QuickBook is. Excel is not among them. Excel is one of the areas where we prepare the books of accounts. So the answer is not Excel. Then Excel is not among these. Okay, just a moment. I think the answer. Chaliye. Now let's look at the next question, everyone. What functions do the listed accounting software perform? Only maintenance of regular books, maintenance of all statutory books, and generate reports on client feedback, or maintain employee records. See, employee records and all is definitely maintained by them. It is required to be maintained now because employees and all is already a part of the feeded area. But as I told you, just near the near the audit dates now, these are long form audit reports are prepared through this. That means we need authenticated data. When we need the authenticated data, then we will ask them that you need to provide us more data for the work. That is to be covered in this area. When we're trying to cover this part, then what functions do the listed accounting softwares perform? They do the maintenance of all statutory books, and they generate various reports. They're not generating one report, but they're generating various statutory reports. Statutory means which are required by the law. Done? Which technology has made the remittances faster, everyone? Remittances means if I'm trying to send money to someone, which particular thing? Check truncation system. E-checks have definitely made it better. The checks which are the truncation system has become very easier now due to the entire system of digitization. Automated teller machines, yes, even if I want to take out money from my account, I think it has become easier now. Real-time gross settlement, RTGS and NEFTs are also a very effective area. IMPS is also one of them. But normally it takes around 2 hours minimum to do the real time. Demand drafts at one point of time, they played a very important role. Yes, they played a very important role, but at only one point of time. So in this case, what's going to be the answer? It is RTGS, real time gross settlement. Okay? RTGS, NEFT, or the last one would be IMPS. Chaliye. Now let's look at the next question. What are the standing instructions in terms of banking? Standing instructions has played a very important role, but it's a blessing. Most of the things that we can do today is because of standing instructions. For example, Netflix. For example, our our SIPs, our installments that we are paying. All those things are deducted from this era based upon the specific part of standing instructions. That means automatic deductions which are made after a certain period of time, right? It is to be covered in this area. Manual cash withdrawals, automatic account operations based on the customer instructions, monitoring bank branches or financial audits. What's going to be the answer? Done? So in this case, the correct answer is automatic account operations which are made. And these are actually good options even because due to this, we can definitely work in a easier way, and the standing instructions has made the entire e-banking possible and beneficial for everybody altogether, isn't it? Next question. Everyone, before we proceed further, have you already subscribed to our channel? If you haven't, then please hurry up and subscribe to it. Acha, this particular, the next marathon that I'm conducting will be based upon module B, everyone. Okay, so stay tuned. I'll be meeting you and updating you about the time of my next mini marathon as well. So be there in the next mini marathon where I'll be talking about module B. In the last module, I covered the module C. Okay, so just an update. The first was module A. The second that we did was module C. Now I'll be proceeding towards module B, and then we'll do the last part, that is module D. Right? Chaliye, now let's move on and study further. What is the result of the computerization and technological innovation in banking? It increased the release in manual processes, decreased accessibility to banking services, introduction to automated teller machines, or longer banking hours. In this case, the correct answer would be introduction of ATM. This has definitely helped in terms of the entire computerization, and definitely I think my account can be updated at any point of time. There's no problem if I get the money out of my bank account. It is still something which is very safe to use. Okay, so this is it, everyone. But before I end my session, I would like to show you where to go if you're planning to purchase our courses, because you should definitely go ahead and look out for our courses. Our courses are currently available at 78% discount. If you are using our website now, then you will find it like this. This is Adda 24/7, www.adda247.com. Go into there of JIB and CIB and check it out on JIB and CIB. There it is. Okay. Once you go onto the area of JIB and CIB, you will find all the details under JIB May 2024. Our numerical batches here, our crash courses are here, bilingual English medium, both the crash courses have begun, and at the same time our Mahapack is also available. So if you are planning to purchase any of these, then you should definitely go ahead. The crash course has already started, right? If you're planning to purchase the course, then another batch is also coming very soon. I'll give you the details of it as well. So if you have already started with your studies and you want to join the current batch, which is a crash course batch, then you can use the code Y541 everyone and apply the specific code, and you will get it for 4599. That is, you will get a 78% discount if you download our app first. So please go ahead and download our app and get our crash course right away. You will get the test series, you will get the class there, right? Recorded classes, ebooks and test series. All the ebooks of the JIB are covered here. Test series are given, all the test series of the different areas are covered here. In this case, topic wise MCQs are also given, right? This is one of the most beneficial areas that we would want, topic wise test, है ना? So all these things are available for you on our website, on our app. For further details, check it out right away and grab the offer. Hurry up everyone. Thank you so much for being there. Bye bye, take care, and we'll be meeting tomorrow at the same time.